Hey guys, it's me, Bren, and I'm out in the dome today. It is a cold. It wasn't too bad actually walking out here. It's 27 degrees. And the good thing is it's not so windy like it was the last few days, blowing that cold, wonderful, cold Alberta Clipper type thing down here to Ohio. I'm really excited. I should take my coat off. But I want to be fair because Ollie's with me and he's got his nice little fur on, so we'll keep it fair here, and I'll keep my jacket on. It's so beautiful in here right now. I feel like almost like 100% better than I did in the house. I don't know if I mean it that way because I love my house and I love this time of year because the Christmas decorations and everything are starting to go up and I'm having fun with that. But it's just so nice with the sunshine and the plants. And so here we are. I took a little break and I'm coming out here to the dome to share a little bit with you about this beautiful plant right here. This is one of my, I think I have 4 different colors of Christmas cactus. So I hope you'll check out this video, and be sure if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate the support. And also don't forget to leave comments in the section that's provided here, and of course you can find all this on my blog website at brenhaas.com. All right, let's get chatting Christmas cactus. This is the time of year when you start seeing these really unique looking cactuses at garden centers and grocery stores all over the place. I've even seen these at craft swaps, people selling cute little plants like this. It is a Christmas cactus. That's what I call it. So the little leaves, or I always call them brackets, these are actually called filiclades. I hope I said that right. I'll put the spelling below here. And this is usually what people end up gifting, which is really nice. You want to carefully just break these off, which is a good thing to do to your plants anyhow, because these can grow in the right conditions from each one of these filiclades into 2 feet easily in 1 year. This one actually is about 1.5 from when I transplanted this one last year. They don't grow so much in my situations here, in my conditions, from the root system. I've never had baby new brackets or leaves coming up from the root system here. It's always the existing branch growing longer, and that's just a great thing. So then you can just pinch this off carefully and set new roots, get new roots to grow off that piece you propagated to share or to make your plant a little thicker. One thing I want to note on here is that this plant likes to be nice and cozy and tight together. Don't plant each one of these into its own container, because it takes a little bit of time. You need to have some patience to get it to get established and put on some growth. You could actually have one of these sections produce a flower, like even I've had them off one of these, but I like it to put the energy into growing longer green so it can be a fuller plant before setting blooms. But either way, it's a fun plant, and it's a neat plant to pass down year after year. There are some of these house plants people have had for well over 50 years that their grandmother started, or I've seen them in conservatories where they were huge, and it's just, they're loving the condition, and that's a neat thing. So it's always a treat to be able to have your own piece of the plant to grow and enjoy. So that's just one of my other tips. One of my important tips about this plant is to make sure you do not plant it in too big of a container. They like to be nice and cozy because they just seem to do so much better when they are in a grouping like this. Now, if you notice, this is, if you've been in my dome before, this is pretty much the south wall, but we're getting close to the official first day of winter. So my son, it's a very rare thing and a treat to have the sun out today, but they are getting a filtered sun, not to mention the sun is super far away from the earth right now, so it's not a real intense sun this time of year. It's perfect to have them up like this. You could also put them in your window of your home right now and they won't get burnt or scorched. Once we head into spring and summer and late fall, you don't want these in direct sun because they will die. They will just fry. They don't like the full sun. So that's another thing to keep in mind with this plant. And there, isn't this one pretty? So I've got this pretty pink, and I'll lift this up so you can see how it's all nice and thick. And that leaf, oh no, that leaf's about the same as this one. I used to have a Easter one, and it's in the dome here somewhere, and I'm sure I'll find it one day when I'm transplanting or cleaning up from leaves falling this time of year in the dormant time, and I'll go, oh, there it is, it was happy, it fell and rerooted itself, because my bigger plants actually will do that out here in the dome. That usually happens when you move them around or the temperature changes out here. Little tiny baby, but look, it's starting to root, which is good. They like to be kept in the same type of growing conditions. So when you get these home from the greenhouse, well, first of all, if you bring home one from a store or anywhere out in the winter, you're going to want to cover it really good with a plastic bag or even paper bag and keep it close to you, keep it out of that extreme temperature change, and get it indoors as quick as you can, or it will show signs of struggling. And in fact, if you've already got these little buds forming, they could very well fall off from the temperature changes, which I've had happen numerous times. What I like to do, and what I did, was I just took some of these leaves off of the big plant. You want to have at least 3. I wouldn't go more than 3. 2's fine, 1's fine. But if you're nice, do 3. Just because. You're going to want them to root either by sitting them in a cool, dry location and just keep misting them. You could put them in water, this part of it, just to get it to root. I've never actually done that, but I know people who have. Now this would be a nice size gifting, definitely. And so what I do is I basically make sure the bottom of the last sections of this leaf is in soil, in a nice potting soil, and I'm just gonna keep them together like this and kind of fill it in with soil. Yeah. You don't want them in too big of a container because they kind of get lost, and they take a long time, in my experience, for these roots to start producing new plants off the bottom. They actually sprout from the leaf here, and that's where you can clip it and propagate it again and make it a fuller plant, which it loves to be nice and full. As you can tell, these are more so together. All right, so here it is. I fill in around the edge of the plant where the filiclades are, about an inch and a half, with some light soil. If you have small pieces and they just kind of fall over, don't worry about that, because they will end up, if you don't get them too wet, they will actually start forming these little hairy roots coming off of the bottom of the filiclade. Yeah, so now what you're going to want to do is keep an eye on it, kind of mist it periodically. Don't let it get super dry. It doesn't mind being a little dry, but it will set roots if you don't drown it. So there it is. I'm really hoping this one blooms, because I know this is my peachy. It's got a peach and a real hot pink color. I got this variety in a really cool garden center in the New York, near Rochester, a few years back. Gosh, it's been 5 years, and I really struggle with this one. I just keep getting it too wet. Maybe it's a little temperamental because it's a unique color. I'm not sure, but I just love it. And we're gonna keep it watered, and you'll have to follow me, and I'll share a picture of the bloom if it ends up blooming for me. Hopefully it does, because it's just such a treat. That is such a pretty bloom on that one. So pretty. Now, one thing I want to note is if you get a plant from the nursery, or most likely if you're at the grocery store and you see these in the floral department, you're going to want to make sure you wrap it up really nice. Put a bag over it, definitely maybe a paper bag, and just kind of like close to you to get it out to the car. You don't want to leave it in the car. It's a lot like the poinsettias right now. That cold weather can really zap these. And the other thing is, if you buy it from the store and it's got these little buds, the smaller the bud might be better, because when you move this into a new condition, a new growing condition, compared to like your home, compared to if I have it out here in the greenhouse, or you buy these from a greenhouse, that extreme temperature change and condition change can actually make the plant struggle a little bit. And I've had these buds actually fall off and not bloom. So I like to kind of keep mine in here in the greenhouse dome where they do well, and just enjoy the bloom out here. This one is going to be really pretty. It's like a white light pink maybe. I don't remember what this one was. So pretty. Thanks for checking out my video today. You can find this and other creative living ideas on my website at brenhaas.com. Be sure to leave a comment so I know you were there.